We're live.
Welcome to all of our friends on Facebook. It's time for another edition of Friday at 420 as we welcome a very special guest. This one's going to be a good show, so I certainly hope you'll hang around with us. If you're listening to this on the radio, it is Friday afternoon, and we're having a great time getting you into the weekend. If you're joining us on Facebook, it's not Friday yet. Don't celebrate that. My name is Mike Nabuurs, the host for the next 40 minutes as we go around the panel, and I introduce everybody before we get to our very special guest. And I always like to say hello first to my good friend, Mr. Patrick Coppolino. How are you, Patty?
Buongiorno. I'm good. How are you?
Does anyone call you Patty?
No, maybe. I don't know. I don't even notice that people call me Pat because I always introduce myself as Patrick, but like Manolis calls me Pat all the time. A lot of people do. So people probably call me Pat. I get patty cakes sometimes.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to be your new name for the show. Okay. Let's say hello as well to our good friend Manolis Zontanos.
Hello. That's all I need to say. I want to get to our guests.
Manoli.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good.
Now, listen, Manoli, you're in charge of lining up guests for the show.
Right.
And it's been the rare occasion when you've lined up somebody who people might actually recognize and go. So that's a pretty big deal for us, right?
Oh, it's a huge deal. I was very lucky enough. My buddy Joel got me to open up for Shuli. I don't know how long ago was it? Like a couple years ago, Shuli?
Yeah, I think so. It was one of the most interesting experiences I ever had because Manolis is the only comic I've ever worked with who's come back to the hotel before the show and had purchased me a gift from a thrift shop. Which was a very heavily worn, light colored, I would almost say white denim jeans jacket. Okay. 2 years ago, not 17 years ago when everybody wore jeans jackets, right? 2 years ago. And I mean, this thing had stains all over it. It was, what do you remember what you paid for it? Couldn't be more than $4.
I think it was like $5. That's why I bought it. I'm like, it was worth the risk. I mean, if you likes it,
looked like someone used it for the bottom of a dog bed. Okay, and he walks into the room and goes, "Hey man, I was out shopping and I got you something," which never had a guy say that to me before, so that was interesting. And then I see this jet and I go. And so you do the polite thing. You go, "Wow, thank you so much." And I'll never forget. He goes, "Maybe you want to wear it on stage tonight." I go, yeah, maybe I will. We're doing a fucking We're doing a homeless benefit, and I want to fit in with the theme. I'll wear it on stage tonight. And I'll never forget. It just floored me all weekend. I was like, "This is the funniest, weirdest thing." I love him to death because of this. I bring it home. I come home, and I show my wife. I go, "You're not going to believe this." I go. I worked with this guy this weekend. He bought me a jacket. And she goes, "What?" Yeah, my wife's Jersey. She's like, "What are you guys dating now?" You know, she's already. I'm now getting hit with shrapnel because of what he bought me. And she's like, "Who buys a jacket for a guy? Like, what guy?" But I go, "I don't know. No one's ever done it before." And she looks at it. She goes, "It's filthy. Did you wear this?" I go, "This is how it came." It wasn't even in a bag. And thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, Joe. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. I didn't even get a chance to fully introduce him. Wow, he just went off. And what a great story. Everybody who's a fan of Friday at 420 knows innumerable stories of Manolis and his shopping at discount places and value villages, and so that story surely just fits right in. Please welcome to the Friday at 420 experience our new bestest friend from Alabama. It is Shuli Egar, everybody. Shuli, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. As soon as Manolis asked me, I'm like, yes, I can finally tell that story. I'll do the show.
It just doesn't make sense anywhere else, but here it's brilliant, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those curb your enthusiasm moments where you're just like, what's going? Did a guy just buy me a used jeans jacket?
Dude, you are such an amazing actor though, because when I gave you that jacket, you were so happy, and I'm like, I went through the rest. I'm like, I gave him this jacket, and he really loved it.
Well, because any person who does that is psychotic, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get out of that room safely. You understand? I will. People always go, you got to stand up for it. No, I'm making it to the next day. Okay, so if I have a guy that hates Jews, guess what? So do I. I have a problem with him too. What do you think of that? How about you just let me wake up tomorrow? Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, no, but I thought it was awesome.
That is terrific stuff. Manolis, could we just for a second, and maybe this would help shed some light for Shuli on the thinking that goes on between your ears. So what were you thinking? And it's not that you buying a guy a gift, cool. Buying a jean jacket, maybe even cool. Buying a used jean jacket for somebody, what's the thinking there?
You had to see it was dirty, right? Like you're not. Are you legally blind? Does it say that on your driver's license?
I just thought it was really cool. You know what I mean? It looked cool. I was on the road with this dude one time, and he didn't go. He ended up to stay in my hotel room, so I just thought it'd be nice. I went out and I bought this. I looked at his jeans when he's sleeping, which is creepy. And I saw this,
sure is.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, he's a size 36. So I'm like, I went to Walmart and I bought him like new underwear.
Oh, that's.
And he
I mean, it doesn't. And guess what? Now it got weirder than my story. You see that? He topped himself. He's a genius.
All right, let's get to this game we call Friday at 420. Shuli has been kind enough to play along. Some great stuff. We're going to let you know where you can find out more about not only what Shuli's been up to, but stuff, places where you can go and check out some of the material he's done. He's got a great comedy album out there for streaming. You can check him out on Twitch and various other places. So we'll make sure you get that information before the end of the show. Topic number 5, our first topic. Shuli, you just got number 5 on our Plinko board. So your first topic on this Friday at 420. Well, this is an interesting one. This is a little inside the Beltway show topic. A couple of weeks ago, Manolis convinced us to have on as a guest a porn star. And so now I'm just going to throw it out there for future reference. Should we allow Manolis? What'd you buy her?
What'd you buy her from the thrift shop?
He sent her a T-shirt.
I sent her a girl. She has a girl penis T-shirt like you do.
Oh, yeah. No used pocket rocket over at the.
I have sent her. I have sent her like old vintage clothing, like from like Western shirts, and I've sent her stuff like I've given you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
So that's okay, man. So the topic is: should we allow Manolis to bring porn stars on the show? Shuli, just out of the gate, you don't even know what the show's about. You don't even know. Do you think this is a good practice moving forward for Patrick and I?
I mean, listen. There's only, I don't think too many guys have said this, but there's a ceiling with porn, and I think you hit it after 2 or 3 interviews with porn stars. I mean, how many times can you hear somebody lie through their teeth and say their home life was great? Okay, like. It's like me saying I love this jeans jacket. Okay, it's not. It didn't have a good start. That's why we're at this ending right now. And my thing is, I don't know. I've stopped watching porn years ago, just because I mean, I just felt like it became such an overpowering thing. Where it was like it was too easy. We got things too easy.
Way too easy.
Guys got to get rejected a while. Guys got to go home alone, and you do it to a magazine like a gentleman, like back in the old days when we did it. Pictures, you move them fast. Maybe they're moving. You know what I mean? Like now you're on your phone. You're here. You're there. It's too easy. I don't. And the interviews, I don't know. They just don't really go anywhere for me.
Really, it's interesting because one place that many people know you from, of course, is your time working with the Howard Stern Show. And of course, he, for a long period of time, there was quite often there would be porn stars in the studio and stuff like that. Yeah. So it does, but I think that's where your experience came from.
I think it's got a shelf life too. Like, it's also like at that point in time in his life, that's what he wanted to talk about. And those are the people he wanted to talk to. And, we all evolve, one day you're buying jeans jackets, the next day you're buying underwear. Evolve. but you never stop buying things for people you're on the road with to make sure they never ask you to work with them again. Really what you're buying is yourself a gig somewhere else.
For our fans watching on Facebook, Shuli, tell us a little bit about the dog that's now starring behind you in this shot.
That's my Lila. She's all black German Shepherd, the puppy. She's 4 months old yesterday.
She's a beauty.
Yeah, she's awesome, and she's real deal German Shepherd. She's not a fan of Jews, so I like that. She's got my back.
All right, Patrick, I want you to weigh in. Should we let Manolis invite porn stars to the show anymore? I think we're going to have Shuli on every week from now on because he's just way too funny. But should we allow him to do that anymore so he can meet girls?
I think for Manolis' happiness, maybe. I've never felt more like back in college being someone's wingman than us just okay, Manolis, we'll have her on.
Here's what you need to do, right? Forget porn stars. Here's who you need to interview. Amateur porn, okay? And I'll tell you why. Amateur porn is fascinating because there's nothing sexy about it to me. What I love about it is what's on in the background while these people are having sex, right? That always captivated. Like guys having sex with his wife, Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol playing in the background. Like, how did you go from that to this, right? And, how do you keep it going when you hear, Bobcat in the back, he's going, I am a cop. What are you talking about? And this guy's like, you like this? And there's dirty talk. And it's a whole scene. That's who I would interview, amateur porn. What turned you on during Price is Right Showcase Showdown to get you guys to throw down? That's the interview.
Manolis, have you ever watched amateur porn? I mean, Shuli paints a pretty good picture there.
Oh, I have. That's my favorite part of it too. What Shuli's talking about, the whatever's on the TV is just so funny to me. Like you don't even just turn it off. Do we really? I don't want to watch this movie.
Not only do you not turn it off, but you set up a camera to record what's going. You don't turn it down. This is Mike, audio no 101, right? Am I right, Mike? Come on, you're a pro.
Sometimes they're watching porn.
Yeah,
takes you longer to ejaculate.
Friday at 4:20. On that note, we'll move on to our next topic.
I never answered the question, Mike.
You weren't getting an answer, Manolis. Yeah, I was not going to ask you that question.
Why do you want to interview the porn stars, Manolis?
I was going to say we interviewed this girl Elena Kushka, but I wouldn't interview anybody else because this is the weird thing because I have this connection to her that I would feel like I'm cheating on her.
Oh wow!
If you had another
it's hilarious because if I'm on Twitter, I won't flirt with or joke around with other porn stars on Twitter because I'm afraid she will see me and she's like, wait, you talking that? I'm like she's cucked me somehow and I don't know how it happened. But yeah.
Have you guys gone out on a date at all? Have you met her face to face ever?
We've talked on FaceTime, face to face. That's about it so far.
So the answer is no to both of those.
No,
right.
no. But I think we're gonna hang out next time we go to LA.
Oh yeah, yeah. You, her, and a big dude, just in case.
You're listening to Friday at 4:20. Our special guest Shuli Egar, and we are here with Manolis and Patrick. And this is topic number 6. This question we'll start with you, Patrick. I want to know, what's your favorite tree? What's your favorite tree of all the trees? And trees are so important to our environment, to our climate. What's your favorite tree?
Maple trees.
Maple, very Canadian answer. Thank you for that.
You can climb them.
And you can climb them. They're a great climbing tree, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Manolis, you got a favorite tree?
I forgot a name. It's either like a pine or something, or
there's a Christmas tree.
No. There's a tree. I wish I knew the name. We could find out. But what it was cool about is the roots of these trees will connect under the ground, and if one's sick, they will transfer energy to the other trees.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And that, I heard that one. I was on mushrooms once, and I'm like, that's pretty cool, dude.
That's actually a pretty good answer, Manolis.
Yeah.
Shuli, some of our topics are kind of weird, but we do that mostly to elicit great answers from Manolis. Like, the trees that connect underground.
Sure. Sure.
If we could find out what that tree would be, Manolis, that'd be awesome. I don't know if you can Google that, or I've never heard that before about the trees reaching each other underground.
Check that bottle of beer again. Maybe the answer's in there, Manolis.
Shuli, you are currently living in Alabama, and
Yes,
this is now a twofold question for you. One, why Alabama? Why'd you move to Alabama? Because I think people are just kind of fascinated and interested in that idea.
Sure.
We up in Canada just know very little about Alabama. So if you could share that with us. And then is there any kind of trees in Alabama that you go, wow, we never had these where I used to live, or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the last 15 years I've been living in New York, in Queens, and so we had, very few trees out there. Not a lot. A lot of buildings, a lot of police choppers, a lot of honking. So no trees, really. But then, the pandemic hit and everything got locked down, and our neighborhood changed and took a turn, not for the good. And I have two small girls, 10 and 6. And, I was just, so we were working from home with the Howard Stern show. And I just started thinking, where does it matter where home is if we're working from home? So now I have a few friends that live out in Alabama that I've known for years. One of them is in real estate, and he's been bugging me to just get property out here for years now, because every year this market just climbs and climbs and climbs. And so I said to my wife, I don't know shit about Alabama. We have a 14-hour drive from New York to Alabama. Let's pack the kids up. I had a week off of work because I was supposed to be playing Vegas. That got canceled. I said, let's drive up. Let's go meet my friends, and let's see this place, and let's see the South. All I've heard is jokes, and
yeah, like us.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So we came out here, and we instantly fell in love with the place. I mean, for me, right away, the pace of everything, coming to literally a screeching halt from New York. Then you have just the environment itself is so wide open. Things are open here, but you can't go into a place without a mask. Everything's open though. They're doing their best. They're living their life. No one, since I've been here for 5 months now, no one has thrown political stuff in my face. No one has said, oh, you're from New York. Well, no, not the case. And then you have the people out here who are so polite. You hear Southern hospitality. It's no joke, man. It's from kids to adults to seniors. Everybody is super polite, super helpful. And the other great thing is they still beat their kids out here, which I love, because I'm not going to hit my kids, right? Like, they know that. But I like that we live in a place now where they know stuff could go down and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like, this is the difference between a poker tournament where you can rebuy or you're out once you're out. You understand? The kids are going to be playing honest now, okay? They're not going to be messing around. I've taken them to Walmart. I've camped out at Walmart with them in the toy aisle. And I'm like, we're going to stay here till you see what happens in Alabama to a kid who doesn't listen. Right. And then sure enough, pow, the kid gets smacked. And I go, you see that? You see that? Let's go. We're going home. That's it. Lesson over for today. So we came out for a week. We loved it. We started looking at houses. Every house we looked at got purchased immediately. The cost of living here is ridiculously low compared to what I was paying in New York and what I was getting for it. And we're happy. My kids have a front yard, a backyard. They have friends they can go play with across the street. I have room for a big dog. I have a whole studio down here to record and stream and whatever I want to do. And the peace of mind going out on a porch at 8 a.m. and seeing deer run by, and you're there's no helicopters, there's no honking, there's no trains. Like, it was perfect, man. I'm a hippie at heart. So and I got trees all around me in my property. I love them. This. I had a guy show up, say, he was, what are they? Arborist? Is that what they're called? Yeah. And he showed up and he's like, yeah, I'm driving through the neighborhood and I see you got some trees leaning and it's a little worse, so I can cut it. I go, you're not cutting any trees down. You're leaving them all up. Leave them up. If it falls on my house, it falls on my house. He doesn't know. I'm a Jew. We're chosen people. It doesn't fall on our house. It falls on the Goyim's house next door. Fact.
That is, you tell a great story, and you know what? I mean, the difference, right? I mean, that's an extreme change. New York City, the heartbeat of America, down to Alabama, the wilderness. That's an extreme change, and the fact that you've just sort of grabbed onto it and your kids are enjoying it, that's pretty cool.
Well, and it's funny because it's like they say, you know, the people who live here, they say there's Huntsville and then there's Alabama. Right. And like Huntsville is like this diamond in the rough. You know, they have the Space and Rocket Center here. They have a ton, you know, per capita. They have some of the smartest minds here in Huntsville because there's so much going on with government work, with rocket engineering, the space program. I believe Sony has a factory at Google. Like you go outside of the suburbs where we live, and it's just like any other city, but you don't have, you know, the traffic, you don't have the honking, the anger, because everybody carries around here. So everybody's like, no, you go ahead. You can come in. Go ahead. You know, everybody's very polite on the road. And it's a complete change of pace. And people like that out here. They go, good, let them think what they think of the South. Don't come. That's fine. They're like, we're fine over here.
Shuli, I got to think everybody carrying is kind of the adult version of hitting your kid, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Guy cuts you off. You're like, you know what? I probably had that coming. That's all right. He's got a rifle rack staring at you. You know, you're like, he's fine. He'd come. Yeah, no, flip me off. Great. Thank you. I deserve that. You know, whatever you need.
You're listening to Friday at 420. Shuli Egar, our special guest, Manolis and Patrick along for the ride. And boys, we are up to topic number 8 on this Friday at 420. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait, I didn't say my favorite tree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite tree?
Weed. All right, go ahead. Next topic.
There you go. Yes, the marijuana coniferous. Manolis, this topic for you, this is as heavy as the news we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks. Do you understand short selling stocks?
No. Are you talking about the whole thing with Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand what they were doing, what short selling stocks is?
I understand what they were telling me, but I don't I couldn't probably explain it to you, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, go ahead, Shuli.
I was just going to say your answers. I love your answers because, you know, most people would say, yeah, or no. But what you do is you go, I understood what they told me, which is such a roundabout walk to, yeah. But it also makes you ask other questions like, who is they? What did they tell you?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You're such a gift. You're such a gift.
Well, why can't you explain it back if they told you?
Because my brain is not equipped with the power to
no, it's not.
to tell you, like I can't like my memory is not good enough to like hold all the bits and pieces of information. I'm just smart enough to understand. I'm smart enough to understand smart people.
What if we put it in a porn version? What if we made like a porn version of short selling? Could you get it then? Would you remember it?
If the penis was the stocks and the vagina was the whatever else.
The GameStop?
The GameStop. I don't know what the sperm would be. But
in all honesty, Manolis has been short selling for years, so don't worry about it.
I do. I mean, I get what they did, but I don't know if it's going to work. Like I know a buddy bought a bunch of stocks, and he thinks they're gonna screw them over. Like I guess they're trying to, like they realized what they did, and then they bought all. So everybody bought these stocks, but even a lot of people, half of the guys sold them because they realized, and like so it's all falling apart. I guess
it's an interesting game where you've got to pick the right time to get out. Not unlike what Shuli said about real estate. I mean, real estate's the same business, right? Where you don't want to ever get in high, and you certainly want to get in low and get out at the highest time. Patrick, you're a gambler. You love poker. Would you go gambling on the stock market? Because that's what these guys are basically doing. I mean, this is just legalized gambling.
Because I don't know anything about it, no, not right now. But it is interesting. But
it is intriguing to you?
It's intriguing.
because you can make a hell of a lot more than you can in your little poker game on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shuli, have you got any? Are you an investor? Do you get involved in that? Are you just out of that?
Well, first of all, I'm a hardcore gamer. Number one, this whole setup I have here is because I stream on Twitch. I usually try and play every night, and it's twitch.tv/Shalom Shuli TV, and you can go on there. And I usually play with comics or people in the chat or whatever. But to me, here's my issue with the GameStop and the short selling. How is it that we can drive this stock up to the point that it is, but we can't get PS5s in stock? I can't buy a PlayStation 5 for months. I'm in Huntsville. I'm not on the moon. I'm not in Neptune. I should be able to get an Xbox or a PS5. No, but I can take your stock price and drive it up to $9 million. That I can do. No, fuck yourself, GameStop and the stock market. They're all thieves. They're all cheats. And I just want a PS5. That's all I want.
Shuli, I got to ask, what's your game of choice or games of choice to play on Twitch?
Well, so I like the shooter games. That's what got me back into gaming is these new shooter games that are battle royale game modes, meaning you start with 100 people, you all start with nothing, and you try to outlast 99 other people and kill as many people in the process. And I got to tell you, the first time I ever played one of those, I'm sitting there. I've played video games my whole life, but I'm sitting there and my adrenaline's gone. I'm down to the last 5 guy. I'm 1 of 5. My adrenaline, my heart's beating, I'm sweating, my muscles, everything that would happen if I was physically active is happening in a game, right?
Yeah.
And I've never experienced that before. And that was very addictive. So it got me back into gaming. So I do a lot of the Call of Duty games with my buddies. We play that. But I also picked this up recently, which is a VR headset. And boy, I got to tell you, if you've ever seen yourself playing VR, like my wife filmed me from sitting down back there one night playing boxing. And I gotta think that it's the same as watching yourself back on a sex tape for the first time. Like, it's so disturbed. You're like, what am I doing? You're like, is that a punch? That's not how you throw a punch. And I just look so terrible with this helmet on, and I'm like, this is embarrassing. But they have so many fun games in VR. They have a game called Drunken Bar Fight, where you literally just walk into a bar, you pick up a chair, and you hit somebody over the head with it, and the whole bar starts coming at you, and you're just sitting there grabbing people. And I love that. So I'm going to be streaming those types games with those type of games with my buddies and stuff. And it's gaming. Like, I'm blessed to be able to do the things I've loved since I was a kid, which is make people laugh, play video games, share stories, hear other people's stories, all this stuff that I've been passionate and loved my whole life. I'm able to do as an adult. And, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, believe me.
Patrick is a gamer too. Does that mean you guys can play together?
What do you play, Patrick?
Similar games. I don't have a VR set yet, but I just got into Rust. You must have seen that on Twitch.
Oh, Rust. Yes.
That
So this is a game where it's a battle royale type game, but you loot stuff and you just keep acquiring stuff for months and months at a time. You have a huge arsenal of weapons and goods and whatever you need to survive. And get this, right? In this game, even if you're not playing it, right? You're asleep in bed. Yeah. Somebody can find your spot and take all your shit. Can you believe that? Do you know how infuriating? How mad? This is one reason why I'm not playing that game. I'm not touching that game because, dude, you're gonna take my stuff while I'm sleeping?
Yeah.
While I'm not even playing?
It's like real life. You could spend.
It's real life.
You could spend like 4 days, like 4 entire days, acquiring all this stuff, building a base. You sign off, go to bed. You wake up and log in. Your base is destroyed. All your stuff is gone.
Yeah, I've been home invasion robbery. And you got no security footage of it. You can't see who did it, where they went.
The game should be called Hamilton.
So yeah, I've seen that game, man, and that just that thought alone, I'm like, no way, not even investing a second in this.
That's some awesome stuff. Shuli, I got to ask you, because we talked earlier, and I wanted to just sort of get that out to our viewers and our listeners. But you have come up to Canada to play comedy before, to do some stand-up. You really had a great experience. Of course, Patrick, we've got Levity Comedy Club here in Hamilton, which is not open right now, but soon could be opening. And I want to just sort of say, hey, like, you loved coming to Canada to do some shows, right?
Oh my God, love it. I've been there on my own. I've been there with Artie Lang. I've been there with Dice. And every single time I've played out there, the turnout's been great. The fans have been so supportive. So especially now with my own podcast starting up, so many Canadian fans are there and reaching out and letting me know that, you know, they remember seeing me at Massey Hall or you know, the theater in Montreal, or when we did the block party, you know, in Toronto, and so I love the Canadian fans out there. Love them. So yeah, I can't wait to get back, man. I can't wait to get back on the road, but I'm not sharing weed with anybody. So just, we can still do the meet and green, but just bring your own, you know?
What? Tell me just a little bit about the podcast, because I know if you go to your website,
Yes.
you can become a Patreon member and you can get in on the ground floor with this new podcast that's coming. Just tell us a little bit about that podcast.
So I have left the Stern Show on good terms to start my own, you know, solo broadcasting career. And I started on Patreon, which patreon.com/The Shuli Show. You can find the show. Now, it is in the process of being approved to be available for free on all platforms, which it will be. But the Patreon members are going to get first dibs. Are going to get it ad-free. And the bonus content on there is something a little different. I'm cleaning up my cloud on my phone. So I'm dropping videos and pics of the last 15 years of my life with the Whack Pack, the team that I specialized with from the Stern Show. So every day I try to drop at least one or two bonus content videos, which is stuff that hasn't been aired anywhere. I never posted on my social media because I couldn't. And now I can, so it's on the Patreon. It's one of the bonuses. Plus, you could email questions to the show, and you know, there's different tiers and all that stuff. And then, and yeah, so I'm 2 episodes in. We're doing them every Tuesday right now. We're probably going to add, you know, more days in there. But I love it. I love it, and the response has been great. I'm just doing what I felt, what I can do, and I, you know, bet on myself, and the response has been fantastic from the audience. They love it. And so I'm going to keep going.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to go
That
crawling
is
back.
awesome. We look forward to it. I would hope that everybody would jump in and support Shuli in that endeavor. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it's very cool. And you're a very, very funny dude. So I'm
Thanks.
sure
And you
people will have
can
fun if
watch
they
the
get a chance to hang out.
episodes, and you can watch the episodes for free when I post them on my YouTube page, which is Shalom Shuli on YouTube. That's my channel. If you subscribe to that, the first episode's up there where I talk about the whole reason for leaving and how I left. And the second episode's going up tonight, which is all about my parents. And you're going to meet my parents, and you're going to hear their voices, and you're never going to forget them. So, yeah.
You're with Friday at 420 on Funny 820. Glad to have you along. We're running through some topics here with Shuli Egar, Manolis, and Patrick. And how about this one? And we'll start with you, Shuli. Super Bowl. Do we care?
I do.
Yeah.
Because well, and listen, I got to be honest. The last 5 years of my life, I probably haven't watched a game other than the Super Bowl. I'm still a Steelers fan. I was a big NFL guy, but for me, soccer has become my number one go-to sport.
Wow.
I love soccer. Watch it every weekend. My team's Liverpool. They've been my team for many years before they were awesome. And so, because I know people are out there go, oh, sure, he's a Liverpool fan now. No, I was with them when they sucked. And so I love soccer. So I got to be honest with you. I've kind of phased out of watching football. It's just not, it doesn't hit me like it used to. But I care for this reason, because of Tom Brady. Now, I was never a Tom Brady fan, never really a Patriots fan. I'm a Steelers fan. But here's what I dig about him, especially now with the transition I'm making, is he left maybe one of the greatest teams ever in football history. And he left on great terms. He left as a class act. He didn't bash anybody. He didn't make any comment. He didn't say, I can't wait to beat them when he got to Tampa Bay. He left like a man, went on to his next gig and focused 100% on that. And for that reason alone is why I'm pulling for Tom Brady. You know, I bet on the underdog, which I don't really think he's that much of an underdog, but team for team wise, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs are pretty stacked. But hey, man, bet on the underdog, you know. Look, I've covered my mortgage this month, so yeah, you know, I know what I'm talking about.
You know what? I mean, regardless of even what happens in this particular Super Bowl, but you know, it already was established, and he just keeps adding to it.
Yeah.
Years from now, I mean, you know, we'll be old men and we'll be telling grandkids about that we got to see Tom Brady play football. I mean, this is not a guy who's going to go down. Like, there's not somebody coming up who's going to do what Tom Brady did. It may be a once in a lifetime. It's a Tiger Woods. It's a Michael Jordan. It really is a phenomenal story, and it just continues. He just keeps adding. And this weekend, he adds again, going for a 7th Super Bowl. That's more than any other team. Your Steelers only have 6.
I know.
As a whole team.
Believe me, it hurts to root for him, but I got to.
Manolis, I know you're not a huge sports guy, but is the Super Bowl important to you? I know this year probably not going to have a lot of Super Bowl parties and stuff, but in the past, have the Super Bowl parties have been something you've always enjoyed?
I mean, it all went downhill after we got to see Janet Jackson's boob. I didn't care after that. But honestly, I think I won't know more about the stock market than I know more about football. But I will say I'm more interested in like Shuli, who he's going to miss out of the whack Packers than I care about the Super Bowl, to tell you the truth.
I can tell you I haven't had a chance to miss them because they still call me constantly. You know, I spoke to Gary the Conqueror yesterday and broke the news to him for the 5th time. I don't think he's getting it. You know, Wendy, the slow adult, I was telling her, and she took it hard until she saw a squirrel, and then she left. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Is there opportunities for you to obviously with the Shuli show, you might be bringing some of those people, some of the ones that you've been friends with and have a great rapport with, have them on the show, that kind of thing?
I mean, it's the same with stand up, and Manolis, he'll tell you, you know, I never, you know, once I decided to do my own thing stand up wise, I was like, well, I'm not going to do shows anymore with the Whack Pack. Right. That being said, if they wanted to come to the show, they're more than welcome to. They won't have to pay for anything. I'll take care of them. And then when I'm done with my set, with my material, then I'll bring you up at the end to say hello to fans. And then after that, they can come and take pictures with you and stuff when the show's over. And that's the way I like to do it on stage. As far as the show, I'm the same thing. Like I'm not, you know, I love those guys and I love what the time I spent with them and the stuff we did. But I also have to progress, you know, as an artist and as a comic and as a broadcaster, whatever it is I'm going to be doing full time. And, you know, falling back on the same thing over and over again, you don't progress. And so that's not to say that I'm never going to talk to him again. But, you know, for me, it's like I want to if they want to call in, if they want to be a part of things, the door's always open. I don't know that I'm necessarily looking to you know, hitch my wagon to that horse again. But we'll see.
To drag forward a point you made earlier, Tom Brady didn't take Bill Belichick down to Tampa Bay with him. He decided to start anew and see if he could do it sort of in a completely new environment on his own. So.
But don't get me wrong. If my Bill Belichick Beetlejuice calls me tomorrow and wants to do a show, I'm there. I drop everything and join that team in a second.
Dr. Coppolino, the Super Bowl. Are you in? Are you out? Do you care?
I don't even know who's playing this year.
That's classic.
But it does make me miss the club more because we started doing all the big sports events there on the big screen. Started with the the Raptors championship, and then we did the Super Bowl last year there. It was a lot of fun. So I like that aspect of it, the getting together and having a party and food. Super Bowl food's the best.
Which is the one thing we're missing this year. Regardless of the game, you can't have a Super Bowl party. So, but you know what? There are better times ahead. Things look like they're turning a corner, and we're going to get into a better situation. Shuli, do we still have you? We've lost your video picture. Are you still with us?
That's weird.
I'm back, boys. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. No issue. It's just a little.
No, it was no issue. I had to get the puppy back in the crate. She was starting to chew things up she shouldn't be chewing, so I didn't want you guys to see my perfect ass. So I should.
Well, on that note, we're actually going to wrap things up on this Friday at 4:20. Our special guest has been Shuli Egar. Shuli, how do people follow you on social media, keep tabs with all of the things that you got going on? What's the best way to sort of keep tabs of you?
Shalom Shuli is my name on Twitter and Instagram. It's also the website, shalomshuli.com. On Twitch, it's Shalom Shuli TV. And on Patreon, it's The Shuli Show. And Shalom Shuli on YouTube as well, if you want to check out the show for free. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And come, support and be a part of things. And this is very, these guys, the audience is going to help me figure this shit out too. So I'm not set to a format or an idea. I want to figure it out as we go along. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to hang with us for a little bit. We haven't laughed this much on this show in a very long time. So you're a very funny dude, and we appreciate your time and continued success. And we will find a way to bring you to Hamilton, star all weekend. We'll have you up here. We'll fet you like the king that you are, Shuli.
I would love to come out there. I need a new outfit. So, Manolis, you're going to open for me, all right?
Deal.
All right.
Value Village. He goes to Value Village. Manoli, we're closing the show. What do you got to say for yourself?
Two things. There's a band that I loved called the Berettas. All is fair in
water
love.
filters?
No, the Berettas. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, not a Brita.
Not Brita.
Brita. That's right. Okay.
Berettas.
Sorry, I'm stoned. Go ahead.
Like the gun.
All is fair in love and rock and roll. So their album's out on all social media, all platforms. They're an awesome band. I love those.
Check
girls.
out the Berettas. Okay.
Yeah, and my friends Jo and Dan Peters would kill me if I didn't say hi to you from them to Shuli. He's the guy I gave you all those things when I picked you up.
Oh, yes. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. My back feels great. Thank you.
Patrick Coppolino. Levity's still closed. You got nothing?
Still closed, but the kids are going back to school next week, so that could mean we're opening sooner than later. Who knows?
Yeah.
But to find out, just go to levitycomedyclub.com and follow us at Levity Comedy Club on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. So.
And when they come back, support the hell out of them, man. Support local comedy, 100%.
Thank you so much for watching on Facebook. We appreciate it. If you're listening on Funny 820, thank you so much for listening to our little radio show. And we will look forward to having you on again. Shuli, thank you so much for doing the show. Manolis, Patrick, until we meet again in 7 days, have an awesome weekend.
Woo!